Hey everyone, this is Larry. Welcome back to TodayIFeelLike.com. Today we are going to review the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. That's right, the review is here. So let's go check it out. All right, let's jump right into this phone. And the first thing that I want to mention about this phone that you're going to notice right off the bat is it is considerably thinner than the Galaxy Note 9. So if you're coming from a Note 9, you're going to notice that it is considerably thinner. I also have an iPhone 11 Pro Max. I also had the iPhone XS Max, and it is considerably thinner than this phone. The iPhone just seems downright chunky in comparison. It feels like this thing is heavier. It feels like a tank compared to the Note 10 Plus. Now, as you move on to set up your Note 10 Plus, one of the other things you're going to notice right away is that the fingerprint reader is no longer on the back like it was with the Note 9. Now the fingerprint reader is actually under the display, so you actually just use it to push your finger on the display and it reads it right there. Now you can still have multiple fingerprints, but it is under the screen. And I have to say that as cool as that is to really help thin out the phone and make it much more streamlined and make the screen all screen, it doesn't work that well just yet. So I know this is the first time they've done it, and I'm assuming that it's going to be improved over time, but right now it doesn't work well. Every time I've tried it, it has failed me at least on the first try or two. But you also have facial recognition with this phone, and you can have them work in conjunction. So whichever works fastest, either the fingerprint or facial recognition, is what will actually unlock your phone. So now this next point I don't think is a good thing at all, and that is Samsung with the Galaxy Note line got rid of the headphone jack. Now, they did include with it a pair of AKG USB-C earphones, which is really nice. So you can plug directly into the USB-C port of your phone and listen to your music. However, if you want to plug in other peripherals, say like a microphone or something, you're going to actually have to get an adapter. So you're going to have to get one of those USB-C to 3.5 millimeter adapters. And for people who do content creation with their phones and they want to hook up an external microphone, not having a headphone jack on this is a big bummer. So the Samsung Note lines have always had great batteries because they're big phones. There's enough room in there for big batteries. So the Note 10 Plus actually has a whopping 4,300 milliamp hour battery, and it really gives you all day battery life. I mean, if you're not a super power user, you could easily go probably 2 days with this. I have gone, throughout the entire day, power using the thing with videos, shooting videos, photos, with scrolling through social media constantly, checking emails, sending messages, and still have 30+% battery at the end of the day. So as far as battery life, the Note 10 Plus is probably the best battery life I've had on a smartphone thus far. So now one of the other obvious physical changes about the Galaxy Note 10 Plus is that there are actually 3 lenses on the back here. So there is a normal lens, a zoom lens or a telephoto lens, and a ultra wide angle lens. And so this is really great because if you're shooting, it really is like having 3 lenses in your pocket, and that ultra wide angle lens is so helpful in so many ways. But let's actually just go outside. I'll shoot a little bit. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. It works for both photos and videos, so let's go try it out. All right, so here we are. We're out in Washington, D.C. There is the Jefferson Memorial behind me over here. I have my Note 10 Plus, and we're going to try out this ultra wide, the wide, and the telephoto lens. So let's go take a look at the memorial. We'll see how it looks. So right here, this is the memorial right there out in the distance. You can see that. This is actually with the ultra wide lens. Let's go ahead and move it over to the normal lens. There we go. That's the regular wide angle lens or just the normal lens. And then we're going to actually move it over to telephoto now. So there we go. That is the telephoto lens. So you guys can really see that it does a good job of zooming in there, and that ultra wide is just impressive. It really gives you a sense of the space. But let's actually head over to the actual memorial because there's a big statue of Jefferson inside, and one of the things about it is without a wide angle lens, it's very difficult to actually shoot the entire statue. So let's head over and we'll take a look. All right, so we made it over to the memorial here, as you can see in the background. Now there's lots of scaffolding up there because they're actually doing a roof cleaning, or excuse me, a roof replacement and dome cleaning. So, but we're gonna head on in, we're gonna take a look at the big statue, we're gonna shoot a couple of photos. I'm gonna show you guys the difference between the wide angle and the ultra wide angle. That really is gonna make a difference. Also, because it's a little dark in there, we're gonna try out the night mode and see how that works as well. All right, everyone, so here we are. I have my phone out here, and let me show you the difference between the telephoto, the wide, and the ultra wide, or the regular lens. So we're going to start off here, and we're going to go to the telephoto lens. So this is the telephoto lens right here, and you can go then to the wide angle lens. That's going to take you into the wide angle lens right there. And now let's move over to the ultra wide. And there you go. You can see just how big that statue is there. You can see the people in there, the statue. It really does give you a sense of space and perspective. Now, the other great thing about having these three lenses is the camera actually has, or the phone really has, extra depth information. Now, this is going to allow the phone to have a better portrait mode. So it's going to allow it to gather all this information. It's going to be able to give and deliver a better portrait photo. And also there is a portrait video mode now. So you can shoot portrait video on the front facing camera or the rear facing camera. But let me just go show you guys, and then you guys can see for yourself. So the camera app actually has a live focus mode or a portrait mode for both the front and the back cameras. So let's go ahead and head into the app and we'll take a look here. So first we'll go ahead and we'll do the front facing camera. And you can see there that there's different sections here we could use. So we can go into this mode here, which is going to be a much more, it's called big circle. It's going to blur out everything in the back. There's this one there, which is sort of a spin one. We have a zoom mode there, and then we have this one, which is called color print, I believe, which keeps me in color and everything else in black and white. Or you can go back here to your regular blur, and you can adjust it. You can adjust the strength of it and really crank it up. And if you go to the big circle there, it really blurs out everything behind you. So one thing I actually love about having this S Pen is that if you're trying to take a portrait of yourself and you have to hold your arm out, sometimes it can be a little tricky to actually hit one of the buttons on the side to actually take the picture. With the S Pen, you actually can just push a little button on there and take the picture yourself. So I can hold it out, I can put the camera in portrait mode, I can hold it out in front of me here, I can push the button, and just like that, I've taken a picture of myself. I can go and look at it on the phone, just like that, make sure it's there, it looks good. And if I want to do another one, I just simply go back. I can hold it out in front of me again, just like that. I've taken my portraits. It's super simple, super easy. All right, everyone, so when I was over at the Jefferson, it wasn't really dark enough to get a good night mode shot with this. So I went over to the White House a little bit later. Let's go ahead, hop onto the phone. I'll show you guys what it looks like using the night mode and then what it looks like not using the night mode. Okay, so here we are inside the gallery. Let me open up a photo first. This here is without the night mode. You can see it's very, very dark. You really can't even see the statue. And we'll swipe over here. This is using the night mode. And you can see it makes a huge difference. So that's night mode. This is not night mode. Now again, it is pretty grainy. If you look in the sky, it's pretty noisy there, but it does do a pretty good job. And again, this is not night mode. This is night mode. And we'll take a look at another example here. So we'll see this is this here is a shot without the night mode. And then this here is a shot with the night mode. Now, one thing you should note is that you really do have to either be still or make sure that the people in your photographs are still, or both really, because if there is motion either on your end or on their end, you will get some blur. If you notice the gentleman right here, you'll notice that he is a little blurred because he's moving there. So, but again, that's night mode. That's not night mode. That's just the regular camera. This is night mode right there. So, and let's take a look at the White House right quick. So this is a shot of the White House right there, and we'll scroll through, and that's these are all night mode shots right there. So they look pretty good. They do a good job of actually brightening things up. Now, if you look here at the text, you can see that, you know, it's pretty sharp. You know, there's a, You know, things do get a little soft in some places, a little smudgy in others. But overall, it does a really good job. This is a much better photo than you'd probably get with just your phone alone without the night mode. Now, the Galaxy Note 10 Plus has other really cool features and improvements on it this year, like the Snapdragon 855 processor, 12 gigs of RAM. There are some gimmicky features like S Pen gestures. All that stuff is very, very cool and helps the phone really move along quickly and give it some extra functionality. But the thing that I really like about this Galaxy Note 10 Plus actually is something that has to do with Android, not necessarily the Galaxy Note 10 itself. And that is, I really love the fact that there is a file system within Android. Coming from the iOS side, that's something that I've long wanted, but I don't have. And now with this Galaxy Note 10, what I can simply do is, if I'm out shooting with my DSLR, I can just really plug in a card reader, a USB-C card reader, and I can dump my memory cards from my DSLR onto my phone. I can do all the editing to the photos that I want, and then I can plug in a hard drive and actually transfer them back off onto my hard drive and back them up. It's really that simple. I mean, it kind of functions as a small pocket computer, kind of what we want them to and what we expect them to. But with the file system, you can actually plug in hard drives and memory cards, and it's absolutely fantastic. Now, I have had a couple of Galaxy phones in the past. Again, I had the Galaxy Note 9 right before the 10 Plus. I've had a couple of older ones. I've had a few other Android phones. But one thing that I have that has always annoyed me about Samsung's phones versus the iPhones is the fact that the firmware updates sometimes take a very, very long time to get pushed through. Now, supposedly this is going to change a bit with the whole Android One thing. That's yet to be seen. I guess we'll see as they start pushing out new updates if I get them quickly or not. But that's one downside that I've always felt that Samsung's had. Whereas Apple seems to push out firmware updates and really support their devices for years, you don't always get that with Android. And for a long time, I kind of felt like whatever firmware was on that phone was what you're stuck with it for the life of the phone. But it's moved away from that. Let's just hope that Samsung really pushes out updates quick and we can update our phones for both, safety and security and for convenience with new features. In any case, I have to say, as a longtime iPhone user, as my daily driver, I have to say, this is the iPhone 11 Pro. This is the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. I've really been digging having my Android phone. I've been really enjoying this Galaxy Note 10 Plus. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if I want to go back to this iPhone as my daily driver. So you guys let me know in the comments section. Let me know if I should stick with Android or if I should go back to my iPhone. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to work on a full review of this phone, and hopefully you guys will help me decide which phone I should use for my daily driver. No, I will say, regardless of which phone that you may choose, whether it be the iPhone or the Galaxy phones or another Android phone like a OnePlus or a Google Pixel, all the top flagship phones are really wonderful and you just simply can't go wrong with them. So anyhow, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel and follow me on Facebook. And I am Larry with TodayIFeelLike.com. Thanks for coming back to see me. Come back and see me soon. And until next time, love, peace, and hair grease. Peace.